Good morning, my dear students. My name is Rakesh Kumar. I am a social studies teacher. Today, I am going to record the next part of French Revolution, and we are going to start from the Reign of Terror. You know well the period from 1793 to 1794 is referred to as the Reign of Terror in the history of France. And during this period, a person who was ruling over the France was Maximilien Robespierre, and he was the person who tried to eliminate all type of vices which were coming in the front from the different side. So you can say Robespierre followed a policy of severe control and punishment, and all those people who were not agreed with the Maximilien Robespierre were uh, charged and go to the guillotine. Uh, After some time, I will tell you about the guillotine. In the people, ex-noble, clergy person, members of other political parties, and even the member of his own party, means Robespierre's party, were tried by the court of fast track court, revolutionary court, and after the trial, if they found guilty, they were guillotined. Guillotine here is a instrument which was used for cutting the head of the people who were got punishment from the revolutionary government, and it was named after a person who invented the instrument. The name of the person is Dr. Guillotine. Robespierre government issued law placing a maximum ceiling on wage and prices. Means Robespierre tried to create the equality in the field of prices of essential goods. So he rationed meat and bread, and peasants were forced to transport their grain into the cities and sell it on the fixed prices which were fixed by the person who was Maximilien Robespierre. And a loaf made up of whole wheat equally was also sought to be practiced through form of speech and address. You should know that one more thing. Before the French Revolution, the good quality of wheat was only for the person who belonged from the first and second state, and the bad quality or second quality of wheat has to be provided to the third state people. Now Maximilien Robespierre tried to equalize in this sector, and he also do one more thing, that is before the revolution the upper class people were known as sir or monsieur, and the ladies were known as madame. And after the revolution, during the reign of terror, Robespierre issued the order, and the all people now came to be known as the citoyen, citoyen or citizen. Now they were equal. Now one more thing we should know, that Robespierre policy was not very good. He was trying to eliminate each and every person who would not agree with him. So Robespierre pursued his policies so hardly that even his supporters began to demand modernization. Finally, he was convicted by a court in July 1794, arrested, and on next day, means in July, he was guillotined. And after the death of Maximilien Robespierre, the reign of terror came to an end. Although Robespierre followed the policy of uh, vanishing all the people who were against him. But some good things were also during the time or during the reign of terror. The first is that laws were issued placing a maximum ceiling on wages and prices. Means he was trying to control the prices of wheat and essential thing. Second, the laws were enforced to make peasants transport their grains to cities and sell at fixed prices. This was good for the farmers, peasants, and also for the people who were consumers. Restrictions were put on the use of more expensive wheat flour. All citizens had to eat the equally bread, and this was also very good decision, so that the equality in the society was filled by the common people. And equally norms were enforced in the modes of speech and addresses. Traditional monsieur means sir and madame were put away, and all French men and women were henceforth addressed as citoyen and citoyenne means citizen or uh, citoyenne means for the ladies. So you can say Robespierre was undoubtedly the most active promoter of the reign of terror. However, we must keep it in mind that restored to terror not for its own sake. He wanted to set up a reign of virtue through the medium of democracy. Terror, as he believed, was the most suitable means of establishing it. That is why this region is known as the reign of terror. Now we are going to study about the Directory rule in France. It was the time between 1795 to 1799. So we should know that the reign of terror came to an end with the execution of Robespierre. After the death of Robespierre, the reign of terror came to an end, and the convention drew up a new constitution on 26 October 1795, and the new constitution provided two elected legislative councils. They in turn appointed a directory, an executive made up of 5 members known as director. The system was adopted as a safeguard against the concentration of power in one man's hand or one man executive. However, there were frequent clashes between the legislature and the executive, aiding the unpopularity of the government. Means the directory was totally failed to prove its importance. You can say the role of directory become more unpopular because of the ever increasing sufferings of the masses and the defeats of France in the European wars. Defeat of France, sorry. The people carried for a strong and brave leader who could provide them efficient government, prosperity, and victory against their enemies. It was at this that Napoleon Bonaparte, a general in French army, got an opportunity to overthrow directory through a coup in 1799. Means the directory rule was, you can say, the trigger of the coming of Napoleon Bonaparte in the power. In 1799, Napoleon, by a successful military coup, overthrew the directory, and Napoleon Bonaparte provided a stable government to France, and later he himself became the emperor. But one more thing we should know, that this was not the success of the revolution. You know well, initially France was ruled by the monarchy, and afterwards it became the Democratic Republic. Then it came into the Maximilian Robespierre, afterward Directory, and afterwards it again came into the hand of a monarch, that was Napoleon. Napoleon was a military general, and he was acting like a dictator in the France. Now we should study one more topic, that is participation of women in the revolution. We are going to study what were the role of women, what were the role played by women during the French Revolution. So women displayed a great interest in the revolution and played an active and important role in the events which brought about significant changes in French society. Since they were since they since the very beginning of women had been very active in all events related to revolution. As has already been stated that the men were busy fighting at the front, and the women took up responsibility of earning the livelihood and taking care of the families. So we can say that women were fighting as uh, freedom fighters, and they were earning their livelihood, and they were also busy in some clubs like the Jacobean clubs. Women have also formed several clubs in the French France, and the Society of Revolutionary and Republican Women was the most famous organization of them. One of their main demand was that women enjoy the same political right as men. Women are disappointed that the Constitution of 1791 reduced them as passive citizen and they were not allowed to vote in any type of election. So the main demand of women were to give them right to equal opportunity in the election. And in the early years, the revolutionary government did introduce law that helped improve the lives of women. Together with the creation of state school, schooling was made compulsory for girls. Their fathers could no longer force them into marriage against their will. Marriage was made into a contract entered into freely and uh, registered. So a lot of attempts takes place for the improvement or betterment of the women's life, and they continued their struggle for the political rights, for the equal opportunity in the election and various governing bodies. During the reign of terror, the new government issued law ordering closure of women clubs and banning their political activities. Many prominent women were arrested and number of them executed also. And one famous lady, that was Olympe de Gaulle, was very famous for her struggle in the France during 1748 to 1793. She was Olympe de Gaulle, and she fought for equal right, and finally she was executed by the current government which was ruling in the. Now we are going to study what were the condition of slaves and how the slavery abolished from the France. So the abolition of slavery, you can say, was the most revolutionary achievement of the Jacobin rule. During the Jacobin rule, the slavery was totally abolished, but you should know that after the introduction of Napoleon, the slavery again reintroduced in the France. Here we should know that many countries were under imperialistic rule of the France and the other European countries. So for the working in those places, they require huge amount of labors, and you know well the French people were not engaged in any type of physical labor work. So during the 18th century, in France there was, you can say, slavery was going on, and two places, Bordeaux and Nantes, were engaged in the transporting of the slaves from different African nations to the France. Now, revolution and the everyday life. The French Revolution brought a number of changes in the everyday life. The ideas of liberty and equality were introduced into everyday practice, and men, women, and children all draw inspiration from them. Censorship on the freedom of expression was abolished after the fall of Bastille. We should know that the old regime, all written material and all type of cultural activities were banned, and after the revolution, the all type of banning activities were banned. Newspapers, pamphlets, books, and printed pictures flooded the towns and villages as well. Thus, the masses, even in countryside, were able to know about the events and changes taking place in the France after the revolution. That was very good sign of the France. Freedom of press enabled the people even to express or opposing views of events in public. Now, plays, songs, festival, and a lot of cultural activities were followed by people in very peaceful and free manner. So, you can say after the French Revolution, a lot of changes takes place in the France as well as Europe, and this was very good sign to change the situation in the France as well as in the Europe. Now I am going to finish the chapter. Before finishing, I want to explain some symbols which were used by the revolutionary in France. These symbols were here. The first symbol was the broken chain. The broken chain the broken chain we know well, a chain were used to fetter slaves. A broken chain symbolized the act of becoming free, and it stands for liberty. Now the second is the bundle of rods of faces. It is the symbol like our childhood story. It gives message that strength lies in unity. It symbolizes fraternity. We all know that a single rod can be easily broken, but the entire bundle cannot be easily broken. Now the second is the eye within a triangle radiating the light. It stands for knowledge, giving message that the rays of sun will drive away the cloud of ignorance. This symbol is very important, you can say. And next symbol is the scepter. It symbolizes the royal power. Next, a snake biting its tail to form a ring. This symbol of neither beginning nor end. It stands for eternity. Now the red Pygmalion cap, this is also symbolized the act of becoming free. The cap was worn by slave upon becoming free. Now blue, white, red, these were the national color of France. The winged woman, this was personification of law, like our uh, Lady of Justice. Now the Lord tablet. It is a symbol of equality. It bears the message that law is the same for all and all are equal before it. That was the chapter. Thank you. Thank you. Have a nice day. Please read this chapter along with your book.